Okay, here we are. Scott Baird here with Griffin Hill. Welcome to the Essentials to Selling Essentials, sponsored by Griffin Hill, the Human and Organizational Performance Company. And special kudos to Michelle and Brady Cannon. Look, Griffin Hill is the Human and Organizational Performance Company, but we're a company that honors entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is what makes this nation great. And Michelle and Brady Cannon stand as evidence that entrepreneurship, the American dream, is alive and well in America. This is what makes America great, entrepreneurship. I particularly want to honor Brady and Michelle as iconic of what doTERRA can do for individuals in terms of capturing the American dream, but importantly, what doTERRA can do to build and strengthen really the world. Because as entrepreneurship takes hold any place around the world, differences happen in that nation, in the lives of individuals, in opportunities that are presented. And so this is a great honor for Griffin Hill to be involved with Brady and Michelle, specifically doTERRA in the larger sense. And we're just thrilled to be able to participate with you. Okay, so let me just give you a little bit more background about Griffin Hill. Human and Organizational Performance Company. We've been helping businesses to grow for more than 30 years. Among our clients are some other notable network marketing firms. We love this space and we love what it does for their customers and for our clients in this space. We are not doTERRA distributors. We come at this from the standpoint of human and organizational performance. So in that realm, we help our clients with strategy, strategic planning, individual performance and individual achievement, and specifically revenue growth for our salespeople. Now, we're going to talk today about the principles of sales and selling from a professional sales viewpoint. When we did a little bit of survey through some of our marketing people as to what you would really want from Griffin Hill, number one answer on the board was, how do I sell without sounding like a used car salesperson? That's what professional sales and selling is all about. The Griffin Hill Professional Sales and Selling course is taught in major universities around the world. So this is becoming the common language of sales and selling every place in the world. And today we're delivering it to you in a free webinar format so that you're able to get the benefits of really professional sales and selling. I'm going to back up here just a little bit. So feel free to connect with us at Griffin Hill. You can get us, you can connect with me anytime on Twitter and LinkedIn at Scott O'Baird. We'd love to take your thoughts and your questions and your influence. And also you can ask questions. So all you have to do is go to the chat and ask questions at any time in this process. We're going to stay focused on that message today of how do I sell without sounding like a used car salesperson? And so we're going to talk about what it means to be a natural born salesperson. Look, you might have joined doTERRA or Brady and Michelle with the idea in mind that I want a better income. I want to augment my primary income, or I want to turn this into a long-term career and business for me. And I want you to know that from our experience at Griffin Hill, all of that is possible. There is every reason to expect that you can turn your doTERRA business into a full-time career that is a marvelous career. But it starts with this question: what are the sales secrets of the top 1% of performers? What we know now at Griffin Hill is that there is no such thing as the natural born salesperson. Now, there are people who have gifts and talents who are unconsciously competent in those talents. It turns out that Michelle is one of those people. Michelle Cannon is just this unconsciously competent salesperson. But what we also know is that these are skills that can be taught and therefore can be learned. Every one of you can become consciously competent salespeople. You can turn yourself into a natural born salesperson. And so we're going to explore the secrets, the sales secrets of the top 1%. Now, we're not going to get all the way through our sales secrets of the top 1% course. We're going to take about, for the next 30 minutes, we're going to dive into as much as possible how you can put the focus on your suspects, your prospects, your potential customers, so that you don't come off like a used car salesperson, but that you come off with credibility and professionalism and confidence. And we're going to do that for about 30 minutes here, and then we'll take questions for about another 10 minutes after that. But look, your questions are important, and you can ask questions anytime. Just go to the chat area and type in your question, and one of my moderators will make sure that I get the question, and we'll try to answer them as we go along here. Let's talk about the Griffin Hill difference, what it means when we do this with people like Xerox Connect, where we help them to elevate their sales results by more than 300%. Now look, you know Xerox, you know this company, you know that they speak about professionalism. And all of our clients, but we're able to, by utilizing the Griffin Hill technology of sales and selling, elevate sales results. We can do that for you. This is what we know about typical training results. We know that with typical training results, there is an immediate gain with training. You're going to come out of here today excited and motivated and with some idea about skills, and that's going to elevate your performance results. But over time, that performance is going to decline again, and you're going to be back to about where you were before the training intervention. That's what we know as a result of the research done by Dr. Inouye and Gong. So the Griffin Hill sales technology is a research-based selling system. It's about the science, and we can tell you the science of sales and selling better than anybody else in the world. So what we also know is that this process of time is about 90 days. So within 90 days, you're back to where you were before the training intervention. Well, so the danger of that for us today is that you're all going to get really excited and you're going to grow and you're going to improve. Within 90 days, it will be as though we didn't have this interaction. We're trying to figure out ways to help support independent entrepreneurs like you, moms and pops, who are saying, look, we want to turn this into a wonderful career opportunity for us, but we don't have a lot of free spending income. So by the end of today, what we're going to show you is a way to get involved with Griffin Hill at really a next to no cost opportunity if you're interested. And we're just trying to think out of the box for ways to celebrate entrepreneurism and support entrepreneurs like Michelle and Brady. So here's the Griffin Hill difference. Instead of declining after 90 days, what we see with Griffin Hill is that there's this perpetual growth. So for example, when we did this with a client, one client, A Plus Benefits, here's their numbers. Within 90 days, we increased their sales results by over 400%. In the next 90 days, again, about 400%. In the third quarter, their new sales results were over 600% when compared with the same quarter previous year. If you go to the final quarter, it was over 1,000% when compared with the same quarter previous year. So look, we have the ability to help you improve sales performance and sales results. And we do that, again, scientifically. What we know is productivity tends to come in bursts around times of activity. So for professional salespeople, at the end of a quarter, at the end of a month, they get a real burst of activity, productivity, because they're going to be held accountable for it. So one of the first things that we're looking to do is improve productivity. Now, I know that for those of you in Brady and Michelle's group, you're getting a lot of support from the entire group, from the family, and you're getting people put below you in your downline to help build your economy very rapidly. But you owe it to the productive family to give back to that. So number one is get productive. Make sure that you have a productive schedule of doing meetings. That's number one. Get productive. You don't have to be skilled yet. Skill comes next. Number one is get productive. And what we find when we get productive is that we can begin then to work on skill. So once we work on skill, now we elevate the results. So if we think about results here and time here, with the passage of time, we're going to elevate results if we first get productive. So I would say get into a regular schedule. I know that Michelle, even if she goes on vacation, she's doing at least a couple of meetings a week. Number one, get productive. So I would say your first takeaway today should be, I am willing to commit to. So there's my question for you. What is it you're willing to commit to do? Look at your calendar right now and say, starting on this day, I'm willing to commit to doing a meeting every, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. I'm willing to commit to do a meeting make a commitment. Make it now. Send an email to your direct upline and tell them, I'm willing to commit to do meetings on this schedule. Getting productive is number one. Number two is proficiency. Now, we're going to work today on some proficiency skills, but it's that combination of productivity and proficiency that then leads to performance. Now, you've got great iconic examples in Brady and Michelle. Specifically Michelle, I'm going to throw Brady under the bus. This is Michelle. You've got a great iconic example in Michelle of productivity and unconscious competence in proficiency that leads to that third focus, and that is performance outcomes. Don't even worry about the outcome as you start getting productive. You'll never get to the results if you don't start getting productive. Be willing to get yourself out there and make mistakes and errors by being productive. And then we're going to work on skill, and then we're going to work on performance outcomes. This is the science of improving performance outcomes. Well, so with Griffin Hill, now that changes the whole trajectory of your life. You're going to become more productive, more proficient, more professional, and more confident. And that is what is going to help, first of all, augment your existing income. Next, give you a second income. Next, replace all family income. If those are your goals, whatever your goals are, this is going to help you to achieve those goals. So the Griffin Hill difference, instead of that typical decline that we normally see, we're going to see a steady growth. That's what you're going to get today. So our promise is that you're going to get rapid, substantial, and sustainable revenue results. We're going to actually help you to increase productivity dramatically, to increase the success rates, your percentage of successes, your close ratios. We're going to help you to get good margin, and we're going to help you to shorten that sales cycle of getting good buyers of your product, but also not just good buyers, but good business builders. And that's our promise to you as you get involved in the Griffin Hill technology that is all about sales and selling. So this is a systematic solution for predictable results. The key for you is to use it. Give yourself over to the system. And when you do, you are going to get remarkable results. So look, we're here to help you. We're here to build on your entrepreneurial spirit by saying, let's get productive, let's get skillful, and as a result, let's get the sales results that we're trying to build in our lives. Okay, that's going to happen around 4 vital tools. We call them process, plays, metrics, and coaching. Now, today we're trying to give you as much foundation in the Griffin Hill system as we possibly can. And that foundation comes from process, plays, metrics, and coaching. By the end of today, we're going to give you at least 2 plays that you're going to be able to implement and utilize immediately to help build your business. But it's really around process, plays, metrics, and coaching. So let's give you a little background on all of those. Let's start with process. Process is really that big problem that you're trying to solve. You're trying to solve the problem of, how do I get a sale? How do I get a sale for somebody buying my product? How do I get a customer that will buy my product on an ongoing basis? But not just that. How do I solve the problem of getting a business builder? That's process. And the milestones along the trail to success represent that process. Now, plays are the next piece. So how do I do this without sounding like a used car salesperson? That's what plays do. Plays, just like in sports or in theater, are the practiced language and words that help us to mobilize that process. Of course, metrics, here's the truth. If you're not willing to measure yourself, you will retard your progress and growth. If you're not willing, look, in today's world, we're so fearful that somebody's going to scold us or condemn us that we don't want to be measured. We're used to being called in to the principal's office and being scolded for poor performance. We do this all wrong. Metrics should be a way to celebrate progress. That's what we're really doing. So you want to start measuring yourself now so that you can say, I'm going to celebrate progress. That's what metrics should do. And then coaching. The truth is, you will never reach your potential without relying on a coach. That's what we do for our clients. We do this for clients that are Fortune 500, Fortune 100 clients, all the way down to Bob's Pest Control, the brand new entrepreneur starting his own business. And there's a price point to serve every one of those people. But the point is, you can't excel without a coach. Just think about your favorite team. Maybe your favorite team made the playoffs this year. Maybe your favorite team didn't make the playoffs. You can look at Golden State this year. They've won more games during the regular season than any other team in the history of the NBA. But think about this. What if right after the preseason was over, you took the coaching staff, Kerr and his team of coaches, away from the team? They no longer coached. As great as Curry is, this team would have been lucky to make the playoffs without coaching. We're no different. We require coaching in order to reach our success. So process, plays, metrics, and coaching, those are the 4 things that are required. Today, we're going to focus on process and plays. And really, you're going to get all of process and only a couple of key plays. So process is 6 key steps. Those 6 steps of the sales process are case open, needs audit, solution presentation, adapted solution, closing interaction, and fulfillment and follow-up. Those 6 steps represent the roadmap to success. You're going to take this problem of how do I get a sale, and you're going to do it just like eating an elephant. You're going to break it down into its component parts. Getting a sale is a complex, difficult, hard thing. But when you break it down into its component parts, you just do this one bite at a time. And then when we take plays and we add that to the mix, we're going to take that little piece and we're going to cut it down even further. So today, we're going to focus on really we're going to look at the plays of the case open routine. Case open is just your initial interaction, that first contact. How do you engage this conversation? And by the way, at any time you've got questions or comments, you can get those up there in the chat, and moderators will dive in. I'm going to save about the last 10 minutes for questions. So if you want to save them until then, you can, but you can ask questions getting into the chat at any time. But today we're going to focus on just that case open routine portion. It provides the milestones and direction. It sets the expectation that we're going to a close, and we're going to provide a structure for plays and metrics and the coaching, really. So the case open routine, the purpose of this is to turn suspects into prospects. Now, if you don't have this right now, write the names of 5 people that you suspect would be interested in doTERRA as a product, essential oils as a product. Write the names of at least 5 people right now. Take a minute and write them. Okay, that means you pick up the pen, grab a piece of paper, write the names of at least 5 people that you suspect, you think would be interested in doTERRA as a product. Now, in addition to that, I want you to make another list of 5. Write the names of at least 5 people that you believe want to augment their current income. You believe they would like to augment their current income or add a second income, or they're very entrepreneurial. They'd like to have their own business. Write the names of 5 more people. Now, these aren't buyers. These are people that you just suspect would have interest. The purpose of the case open routine is to turn suspects into prospects. Isn't that the problem you all want to solve right now? Okay, I've got these names. I've got 5 who I think should be buyers. I've got 5 who I think would be business builders. I suspect that they would have interest. I don't know they would have interest. Well, that's the next piece here. We're just going to qualify them for one thing, and that one thing is interest. That's all. That's all we have to do here. We don't have to persuade them. We don't have to convince them. All we have to do is confirm or stimulate interest. And we do that by setting an appointment, getting permission to move the chains. Okay, so we talked about plays. The basic plays of the case open routine. So you remember process: case open, needs audit, solution presentation, adapted solution, closing interaction, fulfillment, and follow-up. That's process. Now we're looking at plays and the 5 basic plays. Again, this is where Michelle Cannon is absolutely brilliant. She's unconsciously competent. She knows this. She doesn't know it. She doesn't know that she knows it. She just knows it natively. So what we have to do here with these 5 basic plays is to build rapport, position ourselves, posit a benefit, offer a benefit, demonstrate the truth, the evidence of that benefit, and then schedule a next event. Let's get together and talk about you, your goals, your priorities. Now, that sounds it can sound really complex, or it can sound really easy. The challenge here is you've got to be able to do all of that in 60 words or less. That's where a Griffin Hill coach comes into play. Once you become consciously competent, we can help you to elevate your skill. And elevating skill means, what's my rapport play? What's my positioning play? What's my benefit play? What are my proof plays? What's the play that I'm going to use to schedule the next event? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the benefit play and a little bit about the schedule the next event play so that you get an idea of how plays work. And with this, you get a good idea of the science behind them. So if we think about rapport play, that's all about who I am. Positioning, what do I do? Benefit, why clients like you care. Evidence or proof of that, and what are we going to do about it? So rapport is, this is who I am. Position, this is what I do. Benefit, this is why people just like you care. Evidence, here's evidence that what I'm telling you is true. What are we going to do about it? We ought to get together and talk. It's that simple. That's the case open routine. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is why people just like you care about that. Here's evidence that what I'm telling you is true. We ought to get together and talk. Those are the basic plays of the case open routine. So I told you we're going to focus on benefits, so we're skipping rapport and position, but let's dive into this benefit play. The purpose of the benefit play is to transition the focus to the suspect. This is where you make all the difference in between sounding like a professional salesperson or a used car salesperson. The more you talk about you and the more you talk about doTERRA, the more you sound like a used car salesperson. Now that will shock you and offend you just a little bit, but I'm going to help you to see the difference here. When you do the rapport play, that's about you. This is who I am. When you do the positioning play, that's about doTERRA. This is what my affiliation is. But when you get into the benefit play, it's got to be all about the person you're talking with. It's no longer about doTERRA. It's no longer about you. It's about them. And that's what the benefit play does here. It transitions the focus to them. It makes an offer of something desirable and compelling to them. It tells them why your existing customers care about what you do and who you are. It inspires them to want to meet. That's what the benefit play does. And you don't do it by continuing to talk about you or doTERRA. You do it by talking about them. Look, here's the scientific principle. The scientific principle is that suspects are self-interested. They only care about themselves. They don't care about you. Now, I don't say that to be misogynistic or to say that people are bad. It's just how we're wired. You think about your five senses. They are your five senses: touch and smell and sight and hearing and taste. They are all connected neurologically to your brain. You see life through your window of senses. That means that it's about you. So as a salesperson, you've got to be bigger than being about you. You've got to be about other people. And that's what the benefit play does as you think about features, advantage, benefits, and proof. So why do prospects buy your product? For their features or their advantages? They buy for their benefits. What's in it for them? Is there pain relief in it for them? Is there better health in it for them? Will they be able to solve that eczema problem that they've been going to the doctor for 30 years and they still have to put a topical on it every day and it thins out their skin and it does other damaging things? What's in it for them? We can help you to improve your overall health. We can help strengthen your overall body immune system. What's in it for them? Well, that's the key. So you can talk about your feature in terms of essential oil. Teach them what an essential oil is, but that's a feature. As long as you're teaching them about the principles of essential oil, you're talking to them about features. You've got to get to the advantages. So what is the advantage of essential oils from doTERRA as compared to any other source? It might be efficacy, it might be strength, it might be purity. We're better than any other source of essential oils in this way. Benefits, Now you're getting to how it makes a difference in their lives. Look, let me take you to another little piece of the research. This is what motivates people to act and to behave. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow was the scientific father of human motivation. And so when we talk about these 5 hierarchy of needs, it starts talking about what is it that these are the things that motivate people to act or to buy. And so when we start, we talk about the very basic need. It's that physiological or deficit need, pain relief. Pain relief is the #1 motivator. So when you can think about the ways you've experienced for yourself, or you've got customers who have experienced for themselves alleviation of pain, and we would say here, we would add to this frustration, alleviating pain and frustration, the frustration of an immune system that's not doing its job, or a body that's not functioning the way it ought to function. That is pain relief. I can't get to, okay, look, I will confess, Michelle, being the brilliant salesperson that she is, sold my wife some essential oils. I don't know what it is, Michelle, but whatever you're telling her to put in that diffuser at night when we go to bed, it puts me to sleep. It alleviates the frustration of an old man being able to get to sleep at night. That's frustration. That's pain relief. That's what you want. I can solve your problem of being able to get a good night's sleep. I'm sleeping better than I've slept in a decade thanks to doTERRA. There you go. There's a proof play. Safety, preservation, protection. We're going to protect you against the harmful and deleterious effects of prescription medications that do their job for you in a short season, but over time, they do harm to your body. We're going to preserve your good health, safety, preservation, protection. Next, belonging, pleasure. So if you're talking about, for example, building business building, this is a pleasure. This is belonging. This is connectivity to a family. That's huge. That is a pleasure play. Being able to say we belong to something that is important and meaningful and that does something good in society. That's a pleasure play. The sense of belonging, connectivity, and pleasure, that's a benefit. Esteem, prestige. Look, when people join you and become a consultant of essential oils, distributor of essential oils, you're going to have the great benefit of prestige, esteem of other people. When you help other people, they honor you. They love you. They care about you. That's the prestige of joining the doTERRA family. You're going to make a difference in people's lives. Finally, profit. We help people augment their first income. That's a first step. We're going to help them to create a second income. That's the next step. We're going to help them to replace all family income and grow it. That's the promise of entrepreneurship. The promise of entrepreneurship is the promise of riches and wealth. Those are the benefits. So when you talk about benefits, this is what's in it for you. I can alleviate your pain and your frustration. And by the way, their pain and frustration may be economic pain and economic frustration. We're going to help to elevate, preservation, and protect your quality of life and your standard of living. We're going to give you the pleasure and the enjoyment of participating in and belonging to something that is important. We're going to help you to elevate to the prestige of doing something that will make a big difference and profit. Now look, I told you that at about 35 minutes we would stop instruction. I'd like to do one more piece here. But let me just point out that we're teaching you the principles right now of professional selling that will take you out of the used car business and make you a professional, elevate your confidence, help you to become the kind of difference maker in the lives of other people that you want to be. This is about Griffin Hill, and Griffin Hill coaching is about saving and changing lives. That's what we do for our clients. We believe that's what you do for your customers and your clients. Okay, look, we're not going to get you all the way there. We're not going to be able to give you great examples of these plays or customize them to your world today. A webinar just doesn't allow the time. But here's our offer to you today. Our offer to you today is ongoing Griffin Hill coaching at a starving student price. This is something we've never done before. But it's something that we believe enough in the entrepreneurial opportunity of doTERRA, and we believe enough in what Brady and Michelle exemplify to say we're willing to offer Griffin Hill coaching, the ability to save and change your life economically by doing Griffin Hill coaching once a month at a starving student price. For 25 bucks a month, we'll put you into a doTERRA focused coaching group, and we'll meet with you once a month to help you through process, case open, needs audit, solution presentation, adapted solution, closing interaction, fulfillment, and follow-up. And all the plays associated with every one of those steps in the sales process. So as you know them now in the case open routine, rapport, position, benefit, prove, schedule the next event. We'll help you to be world class in your sales skills. Now, look, is it all going to happen for you at $25 a month in a once a month coaching session? It's the very best we can do for you at that price. If we can get 1,000 doTERRA users, it makes sense for us to do that for you at a starving student price. Some of you will want to break out of that and say, look, I've got to have a faster pace. I want more. I want it faster. We've got a way for you to do that. But we want everyone on the call today to have a way to get this. And so, look, I don't know if our team is going to put something up. I hope they'll stick it in the chat. Put it in the chat right now, guys. A way to connect with Griffin Hill and get this special doTERRA only offer. It's only available now on this webinar, but let me give you some examples of the benefit play. I think I can. We help our clients increase top line revenue. Okay, that's a benefit. This is, our clients get more top line revenue. We take the hassle out of regulatory compliance. We make heroes of facility managers. Preserve the good health of our customers. There's one that works for you. We preserve the good health of our customers. For those who are in poor health, we improve the health of customers who are otherwise ailing. Those would be great benefit plays for you. Look, I wanted to get to one more. It's the schedule the next event play. It's the last play. This alleviates friction in the sales process, sets the expectation of moving to the close, builds credibility, saves time and work. It increases the likelihood of scheduling the next event. Look, schedule the next event is the productivity tool. That's why I wanted to get to this today. That's where you must start. You've got to take, look, some of you will be very proficient on the level of Brady and Michelle, and that's great. Some of you are just getting started and you're relying on others sticking names underneath yours. That's not enough. You've got to commit to jump in and to work hard. And it starts with schedule the next event. Here's the truth about human performance. We only perform to deadlines. That's it. Without a deadline, we don't perform. So schedule the next event is your leap of courage. So I asked you at the start of this webinar to choose a day that starting on whatever X day is, I'm willing to be doing meetings on a regular basis. So right now, I want you to choose that day. Would you please ask yourself now, am I willing to commit to a deadline that will get me productive? And if your answer to that is yes, then choose that deadline and send an email to someone committing to that deadline. Okay, now look, we're about ready to wrap up, but that's the essence of the Schedule the Next Event play. We only perform to deadlines. Your prospective buyers, I asked you to make a list of suspects, people that you suspect would be interested in buying or using your product, and people that you suspect would be interested in building a business. Nothing will happen in their lives without a deadline. If you really care about these people, you will care enough to figure out how to get a deadline with them. That's schedule the next event. Well, look, we've galloped quickly. We're going to take time for questions. I promised you 10 minutes of question time if you've got them. If nobody has questions, great. But if you do have questions, we want you to be able to use them. A schedule the next event play might look like this. When is a good time to get together in the next few days? That's the weakest, by the way. What you really want to do is I'm helping people right now augment their income. I believe I can do the same thing for you, but let's get together not to talk about me and doTERRA, but to talk about you and your goals, what you're trying to accomplish in your life. That's the best way to do it. I've got time available this coming Tuesday evening. I'd love to talk with you about you and your goals. That's the best way to do this. Look, you can go right here. There's the link for the Griffin Hill coaching offer. You're not going to get this anyplace else. We've decided that we care enough about what Brady and Michelle are doing to say, we believe we can help and we want to help. You'll go to other places for your instruction about doTERRA, but how to sell doTERRA, we're going to teach you how to do that and how to be in the top 1% of selling professionals of how to do that. And we can help you to do that. You just go there and we'll be able to get this done for you. Okay, so now I'm getting some questions coming through, and I'm not exactly sure that my team is going to help me get these questions answered. Okay, so here's the question. You mentioned the first contact should be the first 60 words. Is that enough to make them want to learn more? Yes, 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 yes. When you ramble on about you and doTERRA, now they're just being kind. They're just being patient. That first 60 words is enough to make them want to go forward. The first contact, 60 words, is that enough? Now, I say the answer to that is yes. But importantly, it will engage them in the conversation. It will engage them in the process. You may have a longer conversation than 60 words. By the way, if you've got more questions, get them in, because when I'm done with this one, I think I'll wrap up, unless there's another question coming in. You may engage them in a longer conversation. For example, you may say, look, I'm Michelle Cannon. I've been doing doTERRA for the last year and a half. I'm now earning more than $10,000 a month. I think I can help you do the same thing. I'd love to get together to talk about you and your goals and your priorities. Is that enough? That was 60 words or less. If you don't think that was enough, you're mistaken. That is a powerful case open routine. And Michelle, you should have written that down, because that's your life, that's your proof, that's your case open routine, and everybody else ought to be doing something similar. First 60 words, the first 60 words you speak will be more important than the next 6,000. Look, we're the Human and Organizational Performance Company. We know more about the science of sales and selling than anyone else in the world. And we're willing to make it available to you at the starving student price. Now, this presupposes that we get 1,000 of your friends to say, let's opt in, let's do this. We can become among the top 1%. Look, when I'm talking about the top 1%, I'm saying that you'll be the top 1% of doTERRA performers, and you know what they're making. We can help you to do that. If you're interested at all, you just go to Griffin Hill. I lost my slide there. I'm done. Oh, there it is. You just go to griffinhill.com/doTERRA, opt in, and we will do this in a way that will help you to become the top 1% of performers. Meaning, at step 1, we're going to help you to augment your income. At step 2, we're going to help you to get a second income. At step 3, we're going to help you to get a replacement income. And at step 4, we're going to help you to be wealthy entrepreneurs. That's the promise of entrepreneurism around the globe. It's just an entrepreneurial spirit that was innovated in the United States of America, but it can be exported anywhere in the world. Great to have you with us. I hope it's been useful to you. We look forward to serving you in meaningful ways. Thank you very much for participating. We hope you found value.